Hello, everybody. It's Cindy here with Stampy Chick Creations. I am live tonight, which is something that I have not been able to do in a while. I am really hoping this works well. So I'm going to be looking for some feedback and some input from everybody. So as we hop on, I'm just trying to make my screen so I can see things. All right, so I have been doing some playing with my software here, and it appears that I've messed something up. So I have deleted a few things that I probably should not have. So my apologies if it's a little clunky tonight. I will try to get that fixed, but hopefully we can get all the logistics of everything working tonight nicely. I have ordered new internet, which from what I am hearing from my neighbors is really great. It's a really great option. It's significantly more expensive than what I'm paying for right now. However, what I have right now clearly isn't working. So it is scheduled to arrive in the next few weeks. So fingers crossed that is a successful endeavor for us. I have ordered one for the house as well as for the studio. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really hoping that it gives us the power and the oomph that we were looking for. So as people are hopping on, say hello. I know it's probably going to be a very quiet night tonight because I have not gone live in a very long time. And so maybe a lot of people don't realize that I'm even live. Okay, so hi Belva, hello. Thank you for coming. So I'm just trying to make sure that I am live in all the places. It does tell me that I have 5 people on, but I just want to make sure that that it is actually going where we're going to go. So as people are hopping on, just please say hello and welcome. Love knowing where everybody's from if I'm not familiar with who you are. So be sure to introduce yourself because I love seeing where people are coming from. So I'm just trying to make sure that this is live on YouTube. So if you're just hopping on, I actually did say that I messed up some of my software here while I was trying to fix it. I actually deleted a few things that I was not supposed to delete. So typical me. Okay. So as people are hopping on, say hello so I know that you're here. If you're part of my customer group, I'm going to ask that you please grant Ecamm access to your name, so then when you jump on, then I can actually see who you are. Otherwise, on my end, if you haven't granted access, it just shows up as Facebook user. So I don't know who you are until I go back and look at the comments afterwards, okay? So if you're looking and you're wondering why I'm not really acknowledging you as somebody that I know, it's because on my end, I only see you as a Facebook user. I don't see you with your name, okay? And that is at the top of my Cindy's customer page. It will say grant access to Ecamm. So as people are hopping on, we're just going to give it a few minutes. Just want you to know about the paper sale that's happening right now. So select types of designer series paper are 15% off until the end of June, which is like so exciting. I cannot wait to stock up on some of the designer series paper that I've fallen in love with. Countryside Inn, Earth and Textures, I think is what it's called. The fishing set, love. There's so many great ones. So excited to join to stock up on that. Those of you that would like to be happy shoppers and get a discount off your crafting supplies, fantastic promotion on now until the end of June. You can purchase $206 worth of product. Anything you want, anything. It can be all paper, it can be all inks, it can be whatever you want it to be. You're only going to pay $135, no tax, no shipping if you're in Ontario and select other provinces. And then I just want to make you aware of the classes coming up, which you are see some posts this week on those as well. And I just want to make sure that everything gets ordered in time so that there's no delays in cutting cardstock and that kind of thing. So how is tonight going to work? Because tonight is a little bit different than what I've offered in the past. So I was not finding that Mystery Mondays were getting a lot of engagement, and I think it was just time to switch it up a bit. I started Mystery Mondays during COVID, and I think for a lot of us, it was what we needed at that point. So that was great, but now I think we've kind of moved past that, and so I wanted to kick it up a notch. So what I want to do is I want to offer you a free class the first Monday of every month. And so how that will work is I'm going to demonstrate, I think I might have four projects tonight, possibly. I think there's four. I think there's four. 4 projects tonight that I'm going to demonstrate. When you place an order with me of $45 before shipping, handling, taxes, using the hostess code that's on your screen here, you'll notice in the bottom, on mine, it's the bottom left-hand side. It says exclusive hostess code. When you use that hostess code to place your order on my website, that will trigger me to send you out all of the card pieces for the cards I'm going to make tonight. And you have to stick around till the end because the last one is a super fun fold one. So I will send you out all the card pieces for that when you place $45 with me before shipping, handling, and taxes using the hostess code, but you only have until Sunday to do that, Sunday at midnight. After that, it's no longer available, okay? And I do that just so that I have enough time to get product out to you and that kind of thing. If you go over that $45, which we all know we can do that, that's pretty easy to do. If you spend $60 or more, I am going to send you out the card pieces just the same, but I am also going to throw in these iridescent rhinestone basic jewels, and I'm going to use these tonight, and I'm telling you, these are amazing, okay? Amazing. They kick it up a notch from our regular rhinestones. They're beautiful. So I'm going to use those tonight. If you have your catalog in front of you, they're on page 140, and they are actually item number 11. Okay, so if you're looking to see which one that it is that I'm going to gift you. All right, I'm going to put my catalog someplace. My room is upside down at the time that I am doing this. Hang on, bear with me. All right, are we ready? Do you want to see some crafting? I'm going to see if I can do this without messing anything up. Okay, there we go. Now, you cannot see my face though, because I have messed that part up, but that's okay. You all know that I'm here. I'm going to have to figure out what I have done there. Okay, so I'm going to actually do this with the light. Okay, so these are the rhinestones. I'll bring them in a little bit closer for you so you can see that. Okay. All right, so let's get started. I need much more room. So I have changed the configuration of my video shooting area, and I have to tell you guys, it is a little bit more cluttered, and it's not as easy for me. So here, I'm just going to do that. Okay, so before we start, I'm going to actually turn this one off. Hang on. I'm just going to turn off my light. There, that should be better. Okay, so I'm going to actually give you a sneak peek of the Gone Fishing class that I'm doing at the end of the month as we get more people hopping on. So this is the first card that we have planned. Now, I do have 5 cards. I do have 5 cards booked here, but it might have to take one out. So this one is adorable. It's got the tackle box, and it is embossed with the embossing folder that you're going to receive as well. And I've used Wink Estella on it. It's really, really cute, and I have not finished the inside. And then you're going to get this linen thread as well, right? So there's that card. There's this one. So you're going to notice that none of these are Father's Day cards. I did that on purpose because by the time we have this class, Father's Day will be over. So there's a lot of die cutting that has to be happening with this. So you will not get the stamp set and the die in this class. You will have to purchase that on your own, or use whatever you have at home. Okay, so this is the next card. And then it just sits up like this. Okay, so super fun card. So again, I've got 5 cards here. I only advertised 4, so we may have to switch some out. So this one is a super fun card that just sits up. It's not sitting for me today because it wants to be difficult and it wants to plop forward. But it does stand, I promise you. But it also lays flat so that you can put this into an envelope and mail it out. Okay. Again, use the Wink of Stella on it. And I know it's hard to see, but I did use it on each of those little embellishments. And then here is the last one. And this one is actually from Dawn Griffith. I saw this card and I was like, I love it. This one I did do as a Father's Day card just because it was my sample. But in class, you can do whichever one you want. And then it kind of opens like this. And then it just sits like that. So glad you're my dad. Happy Father's Day. Okay, so those are the ones that you're going to be making in class if you decide to sign up for that class. And again, you're going to get half a sheet of the paper. You're going to get the twill or the linen thread, and then you're going to get the embossing folder. Okay, so very first card, I am actually using this leaf embossing folder, which I know is probably hard to see. And I know this is probably a fall card and I probably shouldn't have done this one tonight. However, I have not used this embossing folder and I love it. So I just wanted to showcase it because if you're the type of person that actually creates cards, seasonal cards all year round, this would be a really great one for you to do. Okay. So I'm using a piece of Early Espresso. And I'm starting with some pretty simple cards here, and then we're going to get into the very fun fold one at the very end. So make sure you stick around. If you're watching me on YouTube, please be sure to like and share the channel with your friends. That's always super helpful. So this piece here is pecan pie. So I'm going to layer this on, and then I have 2 pieces of Very Vanilla that are the same size. Okay. Now, I don't use Very Vanilla very often. Not for any reason. I just tend to gravitate towards white more. But for this one, I thought the Very Vanilla would be a good option. If my glue would come out, that would be fantastic. So I'm just putting the pecan pie, which is one of our new colors, onto our Early Espresso. So I just wanted to remind you as well that when you purchase any of our new colors, new core colors, not any of the ink colors, but any of our new core colors, when you purchase the ink pad, the re-inker, and the blends, I am actually going to give you a 10% discount. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to actually, hello, Miss Marlin. I am actually going to run this through the embossing folder. And so I have my embossing machine here right beside me, and I'm going to actually just move this down here. And so what I'm doing, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, is I'm lining this, my Very Vanilla up with this line along the bottom. And I do that to make sure that it's straight and that it's even and it looks amazing. So I have my large die cutting and embossing machine right here beside me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to attempt to run this through, because I also have a light right here beside me that is anchored to my desk, and it's kind of interfering. So let's see if I can get this embossed, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So if you're just joining me, you cannot see my face, and my apologies, I've messed something up on the software, and I need to figure out how I get that option back. Okay, so this is the embossing folder. I don't know if you can see that because I cannot see it very well on my end here, but I'm also wearing my computer glasses. So let me know, excuse me, if you can see that or not. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do is I am going to bring in a couple different colors here. Now, if you're just joining me, you're going to have heard me say that This one is going to be more of a fall color, and I just have realized that some of my colors that I was using for this card are actually out in the living room that I forgot to bring back. So that's fine. We will just make do. So I am going to use Garden Green, Daffodil Delight, and Pumpkin Pie for this one is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my Garden Green first, and I'm going to bring in my blending brush. So if you don't have these blending brushes, oh my gosh, love them. And I'm just going to swirl randomly where I feel needs to add a little bit. Okay, so the really great thing about these blending brushes is that you can technically wash them, but like they don't come off. The ink does not come off. So I love, love, love these brushes. So I actually had used a yellow in the small. So they do come in two different sizes, okay? So they come in the large and the small. So depending on your preference, might depend on which size that you're getting. So all I'm really doing is I'm in a circular motion, just applying some color. That's all I'm doing. And so what's happening is that it's only applying the color really to the raised portion, a little bit off the paper, but that's okay. That doesn't matter. So what's in these brushes? Well, they feel like velour as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if anybody else would agree, if anybody has them, but I personally think they feel like velour. There's millions of little bristles in there. And hello, thanks for joining me. So if you're jumping on, tell me where you're from if you're not local. If you have not granted Ecamm access, I can't see your name. So I'm not sure who you are until after the video's over and I can go back and rewatch. So you're going to notice I'm not really worrying about mixing my colors, right? Like blending them together, because they will get kind of mucky, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Now, some people, this would really cause them to be stressed out because the colors are blending together. I quite like it like this. Here's the problem. I had to redo all of my colors. And so I'm not quite sure where everything goes anymore. Okay, I'm going to come back in with the green again, just to add a little bit more. So I'm just using Garden Green in a substitute for the Old Olive, which is what I had used on my original card when I designed this. So my Old Olive is actually out in the living room because we used it in a class. So this is what I have so far. Is that blurry or is it just my eyes? Can somebody maybe go this way? Sorry, I'm just trying to focus. Maybe that's better. Okay, so I don't know what it looks like on your end, but on my end, this is absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do, possibly, is I had a very nice stamp set that I had used. I'm going to show you as I grab it here. This is the stamp set that I absolutely love, and I am actually going to use this with gratitude portion here, okay? Is the internet actually cooperating tonight, guys? Or is it choppy? Can somebody just let me know? I'm curious. I did do a speed test, and it said it was okay. Okay, so I'm hoping if somebody can just let me know, that would be awesome. I'm just trying to keep an eye on my computer to make sure it doesn't pooch out on me. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm taking Pecan Pie, and I'm using this with Gratitude, which is from that Earth and Textures. I think I've been calling that set wrong the whole time, actually. And then I'm just going to put a With Gratitude I'm going to go down here. Whoops, daisies. I did not press hard enough right there. But that's okay, because I could probably touch that up. Of course, I won't right now on camera, because that would just be probably a disaster. All right, so I'm using my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to use these iridescent rhinestone basic jewels that you are going to receive free from me when you place a $60 order before the end of the week. So if you place an order with me by Sunday, I am going to give you all the parts for the cards that I'm going to make tonight, as well as a package of these rhinestones. Where do I want to put this one? I'm going to put this one here. And I'm going to put this one in here. I generally only do 3, but, oops, I'm going to actually do 4 in this one. I'm feeling very dangerous, living by the edge tonight. All right, I'm not seeing any comments coming in, so I don't know if that means it's not working or it is working. So if anybody is out there, either on Facebook or on YouTube, I would greatly appreciate if you could give me a heads up on if this is working or not. I see a star. I'm not sure what the star means on my end, but this is my first card. So again, I know this is a fall card and we're going into summer, and you're thinking, why in the heck is she doing a fall card in the middle of summer? And because I have an embossing folder that I have not used, and I wanted to use it. And I know there's people out there that actually will create seasonal cards different times of the year. So now, oh, hang on. I'm just trying to see here. Oh, I have a roll of linen thread. So this is linen thread. I'm going to actually just kind of see if I can make a little bow here. I'm obsessed with linen thread right now. It is like one of those hidden gems in the book that, I don't know, like I think people kind of forget about it. Or don't even realize it's there because it's so thin. I think some people are just a little bit nervous, don't know really how to use it. But I am actually going to put this here. And I'm going to tighten up my bow and I'm going to trim it down. Okay. Is everybody still with me? I'm so nervous that it's like dropped and I'm standing here talking to myself because I don't see any comments coming in. So I'm not sure what that means. Am I doing this video and I'm just standing here talking to myself and there's nobody out there? Not that it would be the first time I'd be standing there talking to myself, but I just say it's a team meeting I'm having. Okay, I'm just going to tighten up my bow a little bit more if I can. Oh, maybe I should just leave it. Okay, let's just leave it. Okay, so there is, oh, I got to put my inside in. Where's my glue? Me being all organized and putting it back. Okay, so it says that I have people watching me. I'm not sure if that is in fact true. I hope it is, but okay. So all right. Okay, so there's my very first card. So I'm going to send you all the bits to this for you to recreate this card at home. when you place an order with me. Okay, I'm just going to clean off my stamp because this is a very important job to clean off your stamps immediately. And then we're going to move on to our second card. And I have 4 cards for you tonight. I don't know what I was thinking. I got overly excited and just kept creating. So I will go live every week on Monday, showing you different cards using different sets, but the free class will only be the first week. Okay, so that's card number 1. All right. So card number 2, we are actually going to use a color that I don't use probably enough. I like it. I just tend to not use it as often. And it's called Flirty Flamingo is the color. And it's using our online exclusive paper. So Stampin' Up! Has a select product line that is you can only purchase online. And this paper is part of that collection. And there's more of this online exclusive coming out in July. So there'll be new fresh product coming, which is super exciting. Because if you're like me, I get bored very, very easy. So I like to have new and fresh all the time. So I'm loving this. So this is actually one of those cards that they call a cotton mix or something like that. I've heard different things, this layout called different things. So what I've done is I've actually used the die to cut this paper, this flower out of the paper. So this is the stamp set. If you've attended my classes, we have used this probably a fair amount, I would say. And then these are the dies that coordinate. So everybody seems to be falling in love with this die here, which is the circular. And it actually will only cut this out. It won't, it cuts it out onto the front. So what I mean by that is if I cut this here, this will cut out, but it won't cut it out of the base like most circles would. It's kind of like the reverse. So yeah, so this is definitely one of my favorites. And if you're just joining me, can somebody please just comment and let me know that this is working? Because I have a feeling I am talking to myself and nothing is happening. Because I am seeing no comments coming in. And I don't know if that is on purpose because nobody has anything to say. Or if my video is not actually working. So I did check my speed before we went live, but okay, so it is posted into the group. So I'm just going to pretend that this is working. I hope it's working. Okay, so Flirty Flamingo card base. Here is my Whisper White front. So I can actually go ahead and adhere this straight down. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because I think we're zoomed in just a smidge too much. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and glue this one down. So I'm going to cut all of this cardstock for you. And then you have this video available to you to come back and watch to make the cards. And I am going to send you, when you place $60 or more, I am going to send you these incredibly beautiful rhinestones that I'm going to use tonight, which are these ones. Irresistible Rhinestone Basic Jewels. And if you have not seen those, page 140, incredible. I think it's one of those things that just kind of gets overlooked in our book. Okay, so this is the online exclusive paper. So if you're looking for it in the catalog, you will not find it. It is only available on my website that you are going to want to order some of this. It did go on back order for a little bit, but it's back and available. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place these here. Now I could shuffle this up and lay this out in a totally different way if I chose, but I'm going to just leave mine like this. These flowers are actually directional, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch these up. I'm going to actually put this one here and this one here. like this. So we've done this as a Mystery Monday card, this layout before. So this is not a new one to many of you. It's a great way to use up your scraps. And this paper is 6x6. And like I said, it's an online exclusive. So you cannot find this in the book. And I know that it's being overlooked because when we're using it in class, I'm hearing a lot of, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Where's that paper from? And I'm saying it's an online exclusive. So the only way you're going to actually see it in person is if you attend one of my classes and we're using it to create a card. And both sides are incredible. So in typical Stampin' Up! Fashion, they have made one side more patterned, the other side more subtle. So you can actually use this paper for like years to come. Okay, I need to change my glue. This is driving me insane. You can use this for years to come because it's not, it's really not specific, I guess, if you want to say. It's very subtle. So great for backgrounds and that kind of thing. So what I'm doing here is I'm really just kind of spacing out my papers so that I have a little bit of border around all the sides. Now, again, when I originally designed this card, I did emboss my circle. I'm not going to today, just for simplicity's sake. But the really great thing about this paper is that you can use your dies that coordinate to cut out some of the paper. So there's like, I think 1 or 2 sheets that coordinate with the dies. So you can actually die cut these out and then place that there. So I am going to use dimensional. Okay, Belva said looks okay. So I think what's happening, I think I'm very, very delayed in my video, which is okay as long as it continues to work. That's my fear. So again, if you're just joining me, I did announce at the beginning that I've purchased a different internet provider. I'm waiting for the equipment to arrive. And then I will be switching, and I'm hoping that it's going to definitely help me do more videos and that kind of thing, because I have been restricted, and I had a very interesting conversation with the internet company this week, and I think I've made myself extremely clear as to my opinion and my disappointment in their company. So I actually felt a little bit bad for the lady on the other end of the phone. However, I did apologize and explain to her it's not her fault, but nonetheless, I was not happy. Okay, so I am going to use this stamp set that coordinates. Oh, it's choppy. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, I understand that it's choppy, Belva, but I think what happens is after I go live, it is not choppy anymore. So you can come back and rewatch the video if you choose. I hope you do. I know how frustrating it can be, and it's very frustrating for me because I put a lot of effort into the cards. All right, so I'm using Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to use I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. And I love that verse. So I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to stamp this right here on this little piece of white. Okay. So again, when you get these cards in the mail, after you've put your order in, you will use whatever you have. So I cannot stamp any sentiments, okay? It's against the Stampin' Up! Rules. So I have to follow Stampin' Up! Rules or I get in a lot of trouble. So I cannot stamp any images for you or any sentiments. So anything that is not a stamp or a verse, I can do for you. So I can die cut this flower for you. I cannot stamp this sentiment for you. You will have to have your own stamp set to do that with. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down, and I'm going to kind of stagger that a little bit. I'm not going to put it straight on. Now, I will tell you that this suite does come with these. You can purchase these as an option too. They're loose frosted dots, and they coordinate with the paper, and they're really, really pretty, like really pretty. And all I do is just a glue dot and then pick it up with my Take Your Pick tool, which I will do. I was going to use the rhinestones on this one, but I think just to show you how easy these are to put down, I will go ahead and use these jewels. So if I take my... Oh, you're commenting. Hi, Janet. Okay, so you're commenting on Facebook and it's not coming through here. Okay, so I will go back and watch those comments. Thank you very much, Belva, because no, I'm not seeing anything here, which it could just be delayed, possibly. Again, lovely internet provider that I am excited to end my relationship with. Okay. And of course, they were trying to provide me like extended warranty and this and that. And I said, I don't want anything else to do with you. I want long enough that I can find somebody else and then I am done with you. Okay. So I'm going to use my this is how you use your Take Your Pick tool, by the way. So you can use this side, which is actually the flat side, or you can use the frosted side. So I'm just going to kind of flip that over so I can have the frosted side. And picking it up, and then I'm just placing it onto my glue dot. And then I'll take a yellow. Oh, maybe. Hang on. I'll take a yellow, if it cooperates. And I'll put it over here on the green. And then, oh, actually, I don't want a pink on the, I'll maybe use the teal. Oops. There we go. Come on. And I'm just going to put that onto there. Okay, so that just adds a little bit of bling. You get like thousands of these things. So they will last you forever. And they're fun. But you can, if you use the back end and not the frosted side, they actually kind of have like an iridescent type look to them. Okay, so I am cleaning my stamp like a good person. And I am going to put this back into my stamp case because I am kind of terrible at doing that. All right, so now I'm going to actually take, so I understand, I have not seen this myself, but I understand that Wink of Stella is now back in stock. So, if you have had Wink of Stella on your list, run and get it on my on your shopping list. So the really great thing about doing this class on Monday nights is that if you were watching if you were wanting to put in an order anyway, then this just gives you the opportunity to get this whole class for free and still get your product, right? So you're kind of getting a 2-for-1, which is kind of awesome. Okay. So like I said, I cannot actually stamp any words for you, but I sure as heck can give you all the bits. I cut out that flower for you. If you're on my team, I did lots of die cutting for you. Okay, so there's your second card. Okay, super duper duper fun. So I used the Wink of Stella, I used the gems, and then the Flirty Flamingo. I need to do the inside. So yeah, Becky, I don't know if it's my internet. It said my internet was okay, but I tell you, the day that new satellite shows up, it's going to be the very first thing we do in both houses because we are all so annoyed. We can't do anything. My husband can't check the weather. He can't. Anyway, I'm far more patient than everybody else and my patience is gone. So, All right, so there is your second card. So if you're just joining me, this was our first card that we made, and we used our blending brushes. It is a fallish type looking card, but so pretty in person. And then this is the item you will receive for free when you place a $60 order with me using the hostess code by Sunday. It has to be by Sunday or it does not qualify. And it's an iridescent rhinestone basic jewel. It's on page 140 if you want to see it. So that's card number 1. This is card number 2. Make sure you stick to the end. And if you can't, because it's very annoying to be choppy like that, please come back and watch the video, the replay, because the card at the end is so much fun. It's a fun fold. So much fun. Okay, so this one that I'm doing is kind of a fun fold, I would say. And it's using the Countryside in Sweet. Lots of bits to this one. This is Misty Moonlight, which is a returning color. And I have to tell you, I am so glad I did not get rid of my cardstock the last time around. So as demonstrators, we actually are not allowed to sell off our cardstock, our retiring cardstock, and inks for 2 years in case Stampin' Up! Actually decides to bring them back, okay? And so Misty Moonlight was my absolute favorite blue. It was an ink color years ago, and they brought it back, and thank goodness when I was going through my room, I found a huge stack of Misty Moonlight paper, so I was so relieved I hadn't sold those off. So that's why sometimes you'll see that I actually don't sell off some of my retired product right away. That's kind of why. Sometimes I just don't know for sure if I want to actually sell it off yet or not, or if I'm going to continue to use it. So Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and do that part right now, because this part I'm confident I can do without messing up. So this Countryside in paper that I'm going to use is one of the ones that's on sale this month for 15% off. So I can promise you I will be stocking up on it. Blue is not my color. It's not. Black is my color. Blue, not my color. But this paper is wow. Like, honestly, it is a wow. I'm going in and out. Okay, I am trying to get through this as quick as I can because I know how frustrating this is. But if you have to leave and come back and rewatch the video, please do. And be sure to like and share the video as well. So this piece actually belongs here. And I'm kind of, you can see I'm kind of babying my paper because I had to change my blade. I was using a different trimmer. And I did not realize how bad the blade was until I cut this paper. And then I was like, oh, I need to change the blade. So this piece actually is this part of the card. Okay. And I've just cut it and removed it. And then what I'm going to actually do is I'm just going to tuck this in. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to line this up about here. Okay. And I want this kind of like in the center-ish of my card. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fold this kind of where I want this. About there. Now, can I bone fold this and score it? Yeah, 110% I could. I'm not going to, but I can. So I'm happy with this here because I also know I can cut this piece down if I need to. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to place this here. So you've seen this fold before. I'm sure you have. So I'm just going to let that sit there. Okay. So while that's doing its thing, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put this paper down on top while that's drying. So this paper, Countryside In, is just, it's stunning on both sides. It's just incredible. So there's not one sheet of this paper that I don't love. So it's definitely a pack of paper that you would like. And again, it's on, it's part of the 15% off sale. And I know it's very blue. Somebody said it reminds me of that country blue that was very popular years ago. It definitely, it does remind me of the same, but at the same time, it is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is going to be my white piece here. And then I'm going to actually bring in my Night of Navy, and I'm going to line that up here, and then I'm going to actually use this paper here so that when this closes, it looks like it's one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue down my white first. So the next card that I'm going to do is a fun fold, and I hope to goodness that I don't mess it up, because I started scoring all the paper and I was working away, and then I thought, oh, you can't do that. You are supposed to do that live. So fingers crossed I don't goofer. Okay. So I keep seeing people come and I see people go, and I understand because it's choppy. So please be sure to come back and watch the video to the end. If you have to do it on replay, just hashtag replay, just so I kind of get an idea of how many people are watching the replay. So if you have not signed up for the Love It Chop It class or the fishing class, Let's Go Fishing. Oh my gosh, I showed the cards at the beginning of the video. I hope you saw those. So much fun. I had to stop myself from creating too many cards because I was just creating. Okay, so what am I doing now? I'm actually going to use this stamp set, Countryside Corners. Now, I've heard people say, like, what do you want me to do with that? Right? I get it. So these are the coordinating dies that I did this too because I was being silly. I cut this out using this one here, I believe it was. Yeah. Okay, so these are layered. And it has a teeny weeny banner here for you as well. But then when you get to the stamp set, it's one gigantic stamp. It's almost like a background stamp, which is kind of fun. But I've had people say to me, yeah, but how am I going to possibly stamp that? Well, you could stamp the whole thing if you wanted, or if you have Stampin' Spots, you could use those. What I'm actually going to do is I am going to use my Stampin' Write marker. So the thing is, I want you to remember is that Stampin' Write markers are different than your Stampin' Blends, okay? So one is square, right, and chunky, I'd call them. They both have double-tipped ends. They both have the fine tip and the paintbrush. The difference is the Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based, so they cannot be used on your stamps. These can. These are for coloring. These are also for coloring, but these can be used on your stamps. Okay? So, but you cannot use your blends on your stamps. They will not come off. Ask me how I know that. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I am actually going to use my Stampin' Write marker in Night of Navy, and I am actually going to go and use my Stampin' Write marker to go in on this layer of my stamp. Now I could do this in any color. I just thought the Night of Navy might be nice. And you're supposed to huff on your stamps, right? We all know that, but since COVID, I don't know if that's such a great idea. So I'm not going to do any huffing. So I just kind of went over that. Oops. So then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just line this up. And then I'm just going to kind of push down. Now I did this the first time. I actually messed up and didn't even get it on straight. But so here's hoping this one turns out better. There we go. Okay. So that's what I have there. Okay. I just realized that the stamp that I was going to use, I put away. Well, isn't that lovely? Okay, so let's grab this one. May the good come back to you. What about that? I think that's a good one. There's a lot of good people out there. May the good come back to you. So I'm going to use my block, and I'm going to actually stamp this in Misty Moonlight, which is honestly like such a beautiful color. I have to tell you that with the color revamp, all of the colors really go so nicely together. In the past, there's always been like a couple that is kind of like, well, it doesn't really go with much. But they have done a fantastic job in this color revamp. All the colors coordinate so incredibly beautifully. Oh, my paper just moved on me. My paper just moved. So that's awesome. Okay, so this looks, this Night of Navy looks dark. I know it does, but when it dries up, it will actually lighten up. Oh, actually, you know what? Did I use that color? Maybe I used Boho Blue. I might have used Boho Blue on my original. Because Boho Blue is another color that is actually in this paper pack as well. Which is also a fun and beautiful blue. Okay, so, hello, Janet. Okay. So thank you for stopping by. Stick with me because this next card is going to be a super duper fun one. It's going to have lots of bits and pieces and lots of parts, and I hope I don't mess it up. Because it wasn't that hard to do, but on camera, I bet you I mess it up. So if you guys are looking for a chuckle, be sure to stay by. Okay, so here is my card again. So see how my flag is a little bit too long? That's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. Because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in here. And snip that down. And then this will go here. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to use my adhesive right here. And then, oops, let that dry. Try to glue it straight if you can. That's usually an awesome thing to do if at all possible. So again, when you place your $60 order, you're going to get all the bits and pieces to the cards that I'm making tonight. Plus, you're going to get the iridescent rhinestones. When you have to use the hostess code that is on my screen, though, okay? If you don't use the hostess code, I will not know that you put the order in. So you have to use a hostess code. I'll send you all the bits and pieces plus the rhinestones. If you place a 45, okay, thank you. If you put a $45 order in, I will give you just the bits and pieces, no rhinestones, okay? So either way, you're winning, let's be honest. But you're going to want these rhinestones. You are going to want these rhinestones because they are so stinking adorable. So I'm going to actually go, I'm going to do this. Oh, I don't think that one actually picked up the glue on it. There it goes. And this. Okay, so there is your third, is that your third card? Yes. Okay. Now, whew, I'm a little bit nervous to do this next card. I am. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very nervous to do this next card because it requires some cutting live, and I hope I don't mess it up. So I'm going to use this embossing folder. Okay. All right, I am going to use a color that everybody is expressing their dislike on. This is the color. It's the poop color. That's what we're calling it in my studio, is the poop color. So this is actually Wild Wheat is the color. And I am going to tell you, it is our in color color for the month of June. And I have made 2 very beautiful cards with this color. So please, please don't let this deter you. It is a nice, nice color. Coordinated on it, like by itself, it's really pretty. And then with having it coordinating with different colors, it really does bring out some really, really cool colors. So I don't know if you can see on camera, but I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 score lines here. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to attempt to bring in my paper trimmer, and I am going to line this up here. Hang on, I gotta get my blade in the right spot, or this is gonna turn out not so nice. Okay, so I'm going to take my blade, which is falling out of my paper trimmer, which is not cool. Okay, there we go. And I am going to put that down. I'm going to very carefully cut right there. And then I'm going to very carefully slide my blade down. I hope I got that in the right spot. Yeah, I did. Okay. Try and make sure nothing moves on me here. And then I'm going to very carefully line this up again. I'm going to do that one there. Okay. Then I'm going to turn it actually, you know what, hang on. I did this one at 1. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do it this way. Okay, I think this is what I'm doing. Sorry, it's been a little while since I did this one because I prepped this card so long ago. Okay, so I'm going this way. And I'm going to come down here. There we go. Okay, so I have 2 score lines or cut lines here. And then I'm going to line this up again. And I'm going to cut here. So when you get yours, when you get yours, I will have this all done for you. Okay? So you don't have to worry about measurements or any of that fun stuff with this one. I'm going to have it all done for you, but I cannot stamp any images. Yes, this is exactly what I want. Woo! Okay,